Hello everyone, Sikshya here. Today we will be talking about the first lesson of our course Plant Growth and Development. I will be making two lessons on the introductory part, and here goes the first lesson. Before starting, I would say if you like my videos, please follow me on the Unacademy app, and all your queries, doubts, suggestions are most welcome in the comment section. I will look upon them and I will work on them as soon as possible and implement them in my next lesson as well. So we will be talking about growth primarily in this lesson of ours. A brief description goes like this. In your 11th standard biology first chapter, the living world, you have certainly read that growth is a fundamental character of living organisms, which makes it a very important topic to be discussed upon. The definition goes like, it is defined as an irreversible permanent increase in size, volume and weight of a cell, an organism, a part or an organ or an organism as a whole. So, any living entity that you take under consideration, if it is showing an irreversible permanent increase, it is defined as it is growing. This growth is accompanied by metabolic processes which can be anabolic and catabolic as well, but since we are taking the growth under consideration, we will be focusing on the anabolic part more, because when a plant is growing, it is accumulating things, and so its anabolic activity is more than its catabolic activity. Now, plant growth is an indeterminate form of growth which is not found in animals. The indeterminate form of growth means that plants continue to grow throughout their life. Until they die, they keep growing. And what is the main reason for this indeterminate or the infinite growth of the plant? The meristem. The meristems play the main role in this indefinite growth of plants. Primary meristem cause early growth in the sense your vertical growth, your transverse growth, or what do you call that? The first organ development, the first parts development of the plant is your early growth, and the secondary growth refers to the increase in the breadth or in the increase in the horizontal direction or increase in the girth, if you talk on a scientific term, of the plant, that is carried out by the secondary meristem, that is vascular cambium and lateral cambium, which cause the growth in later stages, not in your early stages. In your early stages, the primary, that is root apical meristem, shoot apical meristem, intercalary meristem, all these are responsible. Now, this is a picture that I have picked up from your NCERT book. You can see this is the root apical meristem of the root. Here the root grows positively geotropically, that is towards the soil, away from the phototropism or the away from the sunlight, and this helps in growth. Vascular cambium helps in the increase in girth of the root along its breadth. In the shoot apical meristem helps in increasing in lengthening the plant, or its growth is positively phototropical and negatively geotropical, and this vascular cambium helps in the girth development of the plant. This is a picture. You should take this under consideration. Now, how do we measure growth? Growth can be measured by many ways. We have just picked up a few to make a note of it, or just to understand about growth in a bit detail. There are many ways. Few of them are increase in fresh weight, increase in dry weight, increase in surface area, volume, cell size, length, or girth, as in dicots and gymnosperms, and not in monocots, because monocots do not possess the vascular or the lateral cambium. Now, we have three phases of growth. This is very important. The first is your meristematic phase, the second is your elongation phase, and the third is your maturation phase. Talk about your meristematic phase. This is the first or the initial phase of the growth, which occurs at the tips or the meristematic areas of the plant, and at this phase the cells have rich protoplasm, large nuclei, cellulosic walls, and plasmodesmatal connection, or abundant plasmodesmatal connection to be more precise. So, I have underlined these points so that you can make a note of it. These are important from an examination point of view. The second phase is the elongation phase, which is present next to meristematic phase. In this phase, the cells or the part or the organ of the plant starts elongating, and the responses shown by the cells are large vacuoles, greater cell size, and new cell wall deposition. Like cell wall constantly keeps depositing all its deposition. Initially there is only cellulose, then comes the hemicellulose, the pectin, and many all cell wall materials. These all depositions start taking place in your elongation phase. In your maturation phase, the cells attain the maximum size here. Like in the meristematic phase, they are very small. In the elongation phase, they come to a moderate size, and the maturation phase, they grow to the maximum size, and they undergo structural and functional differentiation. What does this structural and functional differentiation means? That they undergo the development that is required for them to perform specific function as a specific structure of an organism or the organ or the part of the plant. So that's where they undergo the differentiation along the maturation phase. So these are your phases of growth. Now there are, if we talk about the growth rates, there are two types of growth rates qualitatively, that is arithmetic and geometric. This picture that I have put up clearly explains it. There is no more description is required to make you understand or explain you what arithmetic or geometric growth is. Still you can see in your arithmetic growth, from two cells only one cell here is dividing and one is becoming inactive. Again from the two cells that divided, only one cell divided and formed 4 cells, and the rest 2 cells remained. And again out of those 4 cells, only one cell divided and the rest 3 cells remained. So this was a 5 cells formed. So this is how your arithmetic phase goes, or the arithmetic growth occurs, where only one cell keeps dividing. In your geometric, all the 2 cells that are formed after mitotic division divide and form into 4 cells. Again from these 4 cells, each cell divide into 2 parts, and then we have your somewhat 8 cells or your 16 cells. If each cell divide, it's 8 cells, and again this grows and grows, and it keeps growing like this, where each cell continues to divide. To talk of the arithmetic growth rate, I told only one daughter cell continues to divide. We have a graph over here that is very important, and the graph equation goes a straight line, that is y is equal to mx plus c, or LT is equal to L naught plus RT, where LT is the length at time t, length of the plant at time t, L naught is the length at the time 0, or the time from which we started observing the plant. The term 0 means the time from which an experimenter or we all started observing the plant, and R is the growth rate. Growth rate means the growth per unit time, whatever the time unit has been taken. In your geometric growth rate, you see there is a typical curve of geometric growth rate, that is, first there is a lag phase, then there is an exponential or log phase, and then there is a stationary phase. So initial growth is slow, which is called the lag phase, followed by a rapid increase, that is the log phase, and then an asymptote phase or a stationary phase when the plant growth stops. So initially the plant grows slowly, gradually, then all of a sudden it starts exponential growth, and finally it reaches an asymptote growth where it doesn't grow anymore. So for that we have an equation, that is your Wt is equal to W naught e to the power RT, where the Wt is the final size, W naught is the initial size or the size at the time of our observation, R is the growth rate, T is the time of growth, and E is the base of the natural logarithm. So this equation and these graphs are very important. You will be certainly asked questions about this. So that's all in this lesson. There are more points that I haven't covered in this lesson. I will be touching all the points in the next lesson. So please do watch the next lesson, and if you feel that there is anything that I have left out, do let me know. Thank you.